Welcome back to the Deep Dive. It's great to have you with us. Today, we're jumping into something I think everyone, absolutely everyone, experiences. It's that feeling when you hit a roadblock, I mean a huge one, and your first thought is just, I am never going to get through this.
Yeah.
You know the one, everything just sort of grinds to a halt.
Oh, absolutely. That feeling is universal. It can feel like your whole world just shrinks down to that one single problem.
Exactly, like a professional crisis, maybe a personal thing, or just something totally out of the blue that feels like, well, the source we're looking at calls it a brick wall or even a train wreck.
Yeah, vivid descriptions.
Right. And it feels like hope just starts fading.
Oh.
So what if there were actual practical strategies, not just coping, but ways to actually move through these walls? That's what we're exploring today. We're diving into a manual about manifesting desired outcomes, specifically focusing on what it calls Step 3, managing resistance or obstacles. We want to figure out how to shift things when we feel utterly stuck.
Yeah, and that's a really crucial step in the process this manual outlines. It's a 5-step thing, and this Step 3 comes right after Step 2, which is all about living your desire on the inside.
Okay, what does that mean exactly, living it on the inside?
Well, it's not just, wishful thinking. It's actively visualizing, daydreaming, fantasizing about what you want. But the key purpose is to feel good doing it. You're trying to cultivate that internal feeling of already having the thing you desire. But, and this is really important, the manual stresses that as you do that, as you get into that good feeling space, Step 3, managing resistance, it will find you. It's almost inevitable.
Ah, okay. So it's expected.
It is, and these aren't just like little annoyances. The manual is clear. These are significant hurdles that can really derail your focus. They can cut off that positive connection you were building to your desire and just make progress feel impossible.
So they need a different kind of attention.
Or maybe a deliberate shift in attention, yeah.
Okay, let's unpack that feeling then. Hitting the wall. I like that the source doesn't sugarcoat it. It's not little bumps. It's frickin' train wrecks, brick walls. It's that moment where you feel like you've just lost the ability to see past it. You could have overcome tons of stuff before, but this one, it just feels final.
Yeah, absolutely. Like your entire future is now dictated solely by this one huge, overwhelming problem that's right in front of you.
So what's happening there psychologically? Why does it feel so all-consuming?
Well, the manual points out something really interesting. When we fixate on the obstacle, like really stare at it, replay it, worry about it, it says it will grow larger and larger in our minds. It's like putting it under a microscope. And that intense focus, that tunnel vision, makes it very hard to not become attached to a perceived outcome in an unbalanced way.
Meaning you get attached to the negative outcome the obstacle seems to promise.
Exactly. Think about it. You're in Step 2, feeling good, imagining your goal, then bam, this huge thing appears. It's so easy to slip from that feeling of, flowing or allowing the process into suddenly trying to force our way through the problem, just gritting your teeth and pushing.
Like, sounds exhausting.
It is. And that forcing, that resistance, it introduces a ton of stress into your system. The analogy used is brilliant. It's like driving with your foot on the gas and your foot on the brake at the same time.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Burning fuel, making noise, but going nowhere.
Precisely. You're putting out massive energy, creating all this internal friction, maybe even burning yourself out, but you're not actually moving forward effectively.
And that friction, that internal battle.
Yeah.
It must make it really hard to trust the process, like you said, or to surrender.
Absolutely. The manual makes that clear. How can you trust or surrender when you feel like you're about to crash head on into this wall,
Right. You can't. Your future just becomes totally defined by the obstacle, not by the thing you actually wanted in the first place.
Your original desire gets completely overshadowed. The obstacle dictates the future, not your vision. It's a massive shift in where you're putting your power, essentially.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting, though, because the manual doesn't just leave us there, stuck staring at the wall. It offers strategies, real techniques. The first one sounds, well, kind of bold. It's about consciously choosing a point of awareness past the obstacle, like deliberately looking beyond it.
Yeah, and the mechanics behind why this works are important. The obstacle, it's real. We're not pretending it isn't there or doesn't hurt. But, and this is the crucial bit, the horrific future that it is predicting for you, that part isn't set in stone. It's just a perceived outcome, one potential future that the obstacle is sort of projecting.
So trying to smash through it is probably not the best idea.
Likely not. The manual suggests you'll probably get beat up pretty good trying to force your way through. It's just not sustainable. The real key is releasing that intense attachment to the negative outcome it predicts. Understand why you feel stuck. Usually it's that dread of the projected future, and then consciously redirect your focus.
Okay, redirect. But how? If I'm facing, a train wreck, how does looking somewhere else actually help? Isn't that just avoiding the problem?
That's a really fair question. It's not about avoidance in the sense of denial. It's about changing your internal state, your frequency, or vibration, as the manual puts it. Think of it like this. When you're tuned into fear and panic about the wall, your mind is sort of locked onto that frequency. It looks for more evidence of the problem. By deliberately shifting your focus to something completely unrelated, something positive or at least neutral, you're changing the channel. You're shifting your internal state.
Okay, so you become receptive to different things.
Exactly. Different insights, maybe solutions, or just a different path forward that you literally couldn't perceive when you were stuck in panic mode. You're changing your internal response to the obstacle.
Right, and the manual gives a really specific, kind of funny example to make this concrete, doesn't it?
It does. It's memorable. When facing one of these big-ass walls, and it really emphasizes how immense they can feel, one of the suggestions is to shift your awareness to a bus stop.
A bus stop in Anaheim, no less.
Right. Specifically on Catella, or maybe State and Catella, near a McDonald's and a Starbucks facing south. Very specific.
And the point is that this bus stop has absolutely nothing to do with the wall rushing towards you.
Precisely. That's why it works. Because it's unrelated, it's easier to detach from the panic of the wall. You mentally go sit at that bus stop, feel the sun maybe, smell the coffee nearby. You just give your mind a different, hopefully more peaceful or neutral place to rest. Away from the immediate crisis. It shifts your internal state.
Okay, I can see that. You're not fighting the wall directly anymore.
Exactly. And this ties right back into that fundamental principle. Whatever you focus on gets bigger, whether you love it or whether you hate it. Focus on the problem, obsess over it, even trying to solve it from a place of panic. The problem just expands in your head. It takes up all the space.
Because the problem and the solution might be on different frequencies.
That's a good way to put it. It's hard to find creative solutions when you're panicked. So the manual suggests sometimes the best thing you can do when this wall is coming is don't just go do something else, do anything else. Just change your focus, change your internal state through that positive, unrelated thought. You create the mental and emotional space, and you start to allow for the way through that wall to present itself to you. You're not forcing it, you're allowing it by changing you.
Wow, okay. Allowing, not forcing. That's a huge shift. So that's strategy one. Look way past the wall. What's the second technique? You said it was almost the opposite.
It is, in a way. It's about bringing your focus entirely back, not past the wall, not even at the wall, but right here, to the very present moment, the physical, right now.
Okay, how does that work? The wall still feels pretty real, even if it's a future prediction.
Right, but here's the distinction the manual makes. The wall you're agonizing over, that huge obstacle, it's often a perceived outcome. It isn't physical in this immediate moment. It's not here yet. Even if it's a real situation unfolding, the catastrophic result you're dreading isn't physically happening right now in this second. The idea is to pull your mental focus completely out of that future worry and anchor it in what's tangible now.
So it's about grounding yourself.
Very much so, a conscious act of presence.
But how do you do that when your mind is just racing, thinking about the disaster?
The manual gives really simple physical examples. It could be focusing all your attention on a cup of coffee. Really taste it. Think, wow, this coffee tastes good right now. Simple as that.
Or like if you're outside.
Yeah, maybe you go for a walk and you deliberately focus on smelling the trees, or you pay attention to feeling the grass or the dirt underneath your feet. Maybe notice the texture of a leaf. The key is full immersion in a physical sensation now, not just being physically present, but mentally and emotionally landing right here.
Okay, I get it. It pulls you out of the future dread.
Exactly. And there's a great pop culture reference the source uses from Men in Black. I think it was the first one.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when the world seems like it's ending and Will Smith is totally freaking out? Tommy Lee Jones just looks at him and says something like, "We need pie."
Right. Well, everything is exploding.
Yeah. Smith is like, "Pie, the world is ending." And Jones is basically saying, you got to get your head out of it. Let's go have pie. The world wasn't actually ending in that precise second they were standing there. It's about breaking that panic cycle. Because trying not to focus on the wall can backfire, right? You end up thinking about not thinking about it.
Which means you're still thinking about it.
Totally. So instead, shift your attention fully to something immediate, physical, present. your coffee, your breathing, the ground under your feet. This allows your vibration to change, as the manual puts it, so that the way through, the solution, whatever words you want to use, finds me. You're creating the right internal conditions for answers to emerge by getting out of the panic state.
That MIB example is perfect. Get your head out of it.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how these simple shifts, looking past the wall or grounding in the present, connect to something deeper. The manual talks about this philosophy, reminding us to remember that it's a dance, not a wrestling match.
Exactly. It shifts the whole perspective from struggle to flow. And this connects beautifully to how the Source discusses miracles.
Right, because sometimes it feels like it would take a miracle to get through these things.
We often think that, don't we? It's going to take a miracle. But then what do? We usually try to force the miracle. We wrestle with the problem, try to conquer it through sheer willpower. The manual flips that completely. It says miracles are not earned, they're received.
Not earned, received, okay.
Yeah. They are manifested not by conquering, but through surrendering. And this is so important. Surrender here isn't giving up. It's not apathy. It's surrendering the need to control exactly how or when the solution appears. It's trusting that the what your desire, the way through, will unfold when you maintain that allowing, receptive internal state. It's deep trust.
So it's less about fighting the current and more about steering within it.
That's a great way to put it. The manual emphasizes that miracles are not magic, they're very natural. They don't have to be forced or coerced, but welcomed.
Natural, how so?
Meaning they aren't violations of how things work, but rather the natural result, the unfolding of events that aligns perfectly when our internal state, our frequency is open and allowing. It's the outcome of allowance, not control. Ultimately, the message is we cannot force the universe, we can only allow it. That principle of allowance is absolutely central to navigating these big obstacles.
Allowing, not forcing. And that connects to something else you mentioned. The manual touches on being spiritual. Doesn't mean pretending everything is sunshine and rainbows.
Right. Not at all. It means being aware of the darkness. You see the wall, you understand its implications, its potential danger, you don't deny it. But crucially, you choose not to succumb to it. You make an active, conscious choice not to give your power, your focus, your dominant energy to that negative potential outcome.
You acknowledge the shadow, but don't let it take over.
Precisely. It's not toxic positivity. It's acknowledging the reality of the challenge, feeling the feelings, but then deliberately choosing where you're going to place your focus and energy. Amplifying the problem or creating space for the solution, that choice is everything.
Okay, this is all making so much sense conceptually. But the Source also provides a really powerful real-world example, doesn't it? Annette's story.
Yes, Annette's experience with a cancer diagnosis, it's quite something. It really brings these principles home in a very tangible way.
Tell us about it.
So Annette was diagnosed last December. That's about as big a brick wall as many people can imagine, right?
Completely. Terrifying.
But instead of letting fear take over, she made a conscious decision. No power was going to that diagnosis. Again, not denying the medical facts, but choosing her internal response. She deliberately remained positive. She focused on surrounding herself in love. And this part is amazing. She apparently really enjoyed the whole chemo process because it was a new experience.
Enjoyed chemo. Wow.
Right. She chose to find novelty, maybe even fascination, in something most would find absolutely dreadful. She shifted her perspective on it and the outcome. By May, just 5 months later, she was declared cancer-free.
That's incredible.
It really is. And the way the Source frames it is that she changed the frequency. She found a way to thread through this enormous obstacle, the diagnosis, the treatment, without trying to just beat the hell out of it or ignore it. She actively managed her internal state, looked past the potentially horrific outcome, grounded herself in finding positive aspects in the present, and that profound act of allowance seemed to manifest a powerful shift. Her story really embodies both strategies and that core philosophy of trust.
What a powerful illustration. It really brings it all together. So for you listening, the takeaway here seems to be about the incredible power we have in simply choosing what we give our power to through our attention. It's about making that conscious choice to try and change the frequency, shift your internal state, and cultivate trust in the process, even when that wall looks impossibly high. We've all had those "I'll never get through this" moments. And yeah, we collect scars along the way. Life definitely leaves its marks. But as the Source reminds us, fundamentally, we are still here. we have that resilience.
And that resilience connects to one final thought from the source material I wanted to share. It talks about us being warriors in training.
Warriors. That sounds intense.
Yeah, but not in a destructive fighting sense.
Yeah.
More like individuals who are not afraid to sort of step into those areas that so many other people won't. It means being willing to engage fully with life, even knowing we will get wounded sometimes, that will collect some scars, literally and figuratively. Because ultimately, the source says, life is designed to be lived, not avoided.
Embracing the whole experience, scars and all.
Exactly. So maybe a final thought for you to ponder, especially if you are facing one of those seemingly insurmountable obstacles right now. Could you, just for a moment, pick a specific point past the wall? Maybe an image of yourself 5 years from now, feeling peaceful, something totally unrelated to the current problem. Just hold that image. Or, alternatively, what's one single physical detail you could focus all your attention on right here, right now? The feeling of your feet on the floor, the taste of your tea, the sound of birds outside. Just consider how choosing one of those small, deliberate shifts looking past or grounding in the present might begin to change your experience of that obstacle even just a little bit starting today. Something to think about as you go.